Hello everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about 3 ways to trust your intuition and to listen to your inner voice. In my opinion, there's nothing more important right now than that, is that level of discernment, that level of intuition and trust of self. Because as everything kind of crumbles and dissolves away out there, all you actually have is yourself. And the more that we can tune in to the subtlety of our communication with our own soul, the more that we can be clear and we can receive guidance on what to do, our next steps as individuals and as a collective. So the first thing that we need to go into before we go into the subtlety of feeling our intuition is where the mistrust started. The mistrust started with the systematic programming of all freaking humans that what is physical, what is tangible, what you can perceive through your 5 senses is real. Everything that isn't is not real. So your invisible friend, that dream, prophetic dream, that insight, any of those things that we had as children that were absolutely alive and vital ways of communicating with ourselves and the exterior world got invalidated. They got coined as not valuable and actually entirely woo-woo or entirely crazy, right? So we have to really realize that it is deep. It is so deep, that disconnection from our own trust in ourselves. And so what did that do when that happened? It actually put the trust into the them. It put the trust into the outside. It put the trust outside of ourselves. And we're seeing this so radically and deeply right now in the collective because we have disconnected from our own intuition, our own trust of self, our own discernment. We have handed that off. We've given it to other people, other corporations, other spiritual teachers. We've given it all away. And then all of a sudden, they don't even know what they're doing. And then and it's really obvious. And then we're like, oh, what? Wait, I thought that I was supposed to give it to them, and now I did, and now they're all confused, and it's really obvious that everything's all messed up. But now, oh, wait, I'm realizing something. I'm realizing that something's off. And all of a sudden, it's actually turning back because the outside structure cannot hold. It's so amazing because that's dissolving away. And so what is left is that which is essential, that which is valuable, which is balance, which is truth, which is discernment, which is integrity. Like all of these amazing things that make up the human spirit are actually now coming to the forefront. It's so incredible that this impenetrable external reality is crumbling, and as it crumbles, all of that life force energy, all of that power, all of that trust that we put outside of ourselves is now coming back to us. And now, I don't know if you've been feeling this, but now we have the capacities and we're being asked to put it back in our own hands, to take responsibility for our own selves, for the trust of self, for the responsibility, for the intuitions, for these deeper sensings as we connect back to our ancestors, as we connect back to the earth and go, all right, what do I do now? What do we do now? And we start asking that question rather than just kind of like band-aiding, patching up, copying, pasting, photoshopping the exterior world to seem like it's still working. It's not. And so we're granted this deep, intrinsic ability to go in and to ask at the deepest parts of our being, what is next? Who are we? What is aligned? What is not aligned? Which direction do I go? What step do I take next? And that's really all that's important, is what step do I take next? So that was a very long rant for part 1, but it's so important to realize that it's like, I'm not trusting myself. And it's like, no, you've been programmed completely to not trust yourself. So just that in and of itself is so important and so empowering to realize like, oh, wait a second, and just take back that power, take back that energy, and start to begin this new communication, this new relationship with the subtleties of how your soul, how your intuition communicates specifically, subtly with you. So it's a new relationship. You're entirely different now that you're perceiving through this new lens, because we're moving back to the beginning. We're moving back to when you were a kid. We're moving back to that untainted spirit essence that you have that knows and that trusts. And so moving back into that place and going, okay, well then how do I? What are the indicators energetically and physically of something being off or on? And how is guidance communicating with me? I do have a lot of videos on how to connect with spiritual guidance from spiritual beings, but what I really want to focus on this video is you, yourself, and you. So your higher self, your body communication, your emotional intelligence, all of these different pieces that are right here and now, not going out at all, going right here, which is what we're being called to do right now. So number 2, how is intuition communicated through you uniquely? This is different for every person, but there's some general commonalities that we can go into. So the first distinction is between head and heart. Probably heard that before, right? And so are you in your head? Are you trying to figure it out logically, rationally, or like all these belief system structures? It can get very chaotic there. And what we're being asked to do, and why I'm even doing this video, is we're being asked to go deeper into the subtlety beyond the surface, because the surface ain't working. It is cracking and crumbling. And so we're being asked to move into the heart, and move into love, move into what is expansive, what is freeing, what is all-encompassing, right? Acknowledging all of these different pieces, what is valuable to the whole, to the collective, and the individual. All of these pieces that the heart connects to, where we're connected intrinsically heart to heart. It's been tried to connect us all mind to mind, and that's where everything gets chaotic. So we're being asked to move into the heart, into the feeling space. And so many of you have heard, follow your heart. Follow your heart's intuition and heart's guidance. And that is an incredible, incredible tool. The heart is so amazing. It knows. It has so much intelligence, and there's a whole science behind that. I can go deeper into that. So it knows a lot. And there's a lot of other indicators that are less talked about that I want to go into. So when we're talking about, does this feel right? Yes or no? Like, is this thing going on in the world? Yes or no? Like, should I pursue this? Is this person a yes or no? Like, and we're in that space of needing our intuitive discernment. When we're in that space, we can go in our head, rationalize that, like, well, I should be doing this and this and this, but then drop into the heart, drop into the feeling. And then beyond that, actually starting to tune into the deeper instincts of our being. So this can go into actual gut instinct, right? Gut intuition. So there's something like in our gut that also knows. And then there's the subtlety of also our nervous system, right? So with the kind of chaos kind of in the world and stuff, you can all of a sudden feel like my nervous system says no. Like it feels scattering. It feels disorganized, or that feels nourishing to me. That feels softening. So the nervous system is another way. You can also go through the different chakras, right? You might feel a pull in your solar plexus, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm feeling a pressure, I'm feeling a sensation in my solar plexus, and you almost feel withdrawn, and that is talking to you. And it's going to talk to you in a specific way that's unique to you. You might have specific experiences in life that have, maybe you have a more activated third eye, or you're more sensitive to certain energies because of things that have happened. And so notice when those certain body indicators, when there's certain reactions come up, and use those communications. Another indication that's very important, especially for women, is the womb. The womb has its own communication, and it says yes or no. It's intelligent. All of these different parts of the body are intelligent. Even our organs are saying something and are intelligent. And so the more that we give value, the more that we acknowledge particularly the subtle communication, the more that it can come online and we can increase and turn up the volume of it to assist us. So one of the things that's often happening because of the programming is the programming saying, go faster, don't stop, don't listen to those silly voices in your head. You know, they say don't listen to voices in your head. Definitely don't even listen to anything below the head, right? And so we're just moving. And that is where the communication takes place. The communication is in the subtlety. The communication is in the silence, in the solitude, and in that serene place, then we can hear what's going on. And that doesn't mean that you just need to like go into the middle of nowhere and just be quiet, which it might. In my case, it does often. But it can be going into that quiet place within you, right? Going to that quiet, still place just for a moment and going, okay, what's coming up? Ooh, I'm feeling my root right now. I'm feeling it really solid and grounded. Okay, let's move forward with that. Or like my heart, feeling a bit of anxiety in my chest, maybe a no. So moving past the programming and setting aside some stillness, a moment to really tune into the subtlety, the communication that's happening for you uniquely in your physical body, in your energetic body. We know. And that's the deepest part of it, is that we know exactly what is going on. We just have to take back that power, take back that energy. And that is number 3, is this knowing. And anytime this knowing of your own truth, beyond concepts, beyond like ideas of beliefs, or like, oh, like this is a social nicety or this certain thing, but it's just who you are, then that is aligned with your truth and your essence. And when something is counter to that, when something is taking your free will and saying, no, you don't have a choice, it's pretty automatic. It's pretty obvious that that's not a positive belief system structure, that isn't offering free will, that isn't offering expansion, that isn't offering unity. And so you can instantly know that that's not aligned with knowingness, balance, trust of self, but definitely trust of each other. And so deepening into this space of knowing, of intuition, of your own body's communication, actually turning on 2 things simultaneously, turning on your wild nature, so this instinctual nature. And sometimes that can often be thought of as just like an animal, and it's just like this primal animalistic thing. And I'm here to tell you, it is not. It is deep. There is a lot of information in our bones. There's a lot of information in our blood. There's a lot of information that runs through us, through the bottom of our feet, from the earth, from behind, from our ancestors. That's all, again, below the neck here, in this space that is very, very powerful, that has a lot of information for us. And of course, at the same time, there's this higher guidance, right? There's this amazing divine light that connects us with Source, connects us straight to the One, connects us with all kinds of higher realms that have amazing, beneficial, beautiful energies and insights and guidance for us. That of course connect through our crown, but are connecting in through our organs, that are connecting in through our heart. And this is what often goes overlooked, is yes, this higher guidance is just coming through my crown. Yes, that's a primary spot, but they're communicating all over the place. And so when we acknowledge and bring in the inclusion of our whole body, our whole being, including sleep time, dream time, right? When we're asleep, and the different premonitions or the different communications and symbols that come through in our dreams, that come through in the synchronicities of our lives. And so when we're on, right, then we can truly be in touch and know what is the best next move, know what to trust, what not to trust outside of ourselves, know the discernment, and then we can start building this relationship with ourselves that no one can take away from us. This deep intrinsic connection with our soul that we can die, we can be killed, and it is never lost. And that's what this is really all about anyways, isn't it? Isn't it? And this whole world thing happening right now is giving us the opportunity to say, does all this other stuff out here matter? And it does. But the only way it can be fixed and resolved is from this core alignment, is from this rebalancing and trust of self. How can you trust anyone else if you can't trust yourself? And how can anyone out there that say that they know what they're doing, which most of them don't, they don't trust themselves, and they're the ones like putting everything together, you know what I mean? So it all comes back to this discernment of self, this connection of self, this trust within self, and moving past all the programming that is dissolving. So it's the perfect opportunity so that you can actually move in the direction of your core natural self. Whew. So there it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment below. Let me know where you're at. What's been going on? If you can keep that to a few lines. There's been a lot, obviously. And at this point, this energy that I'm delivering, this like non-negotiable, discerning, fierce kind of vibe, this is where I've been. And this is what it's growing in me. And that which is valuable and essential is the direction I'm moving, and anything that isn't, I'm moving away from. And so that's where I'm at, because I haven't been around for a while, I know, but I've been needing to take this space. I've been needing to go deep within. And I'm still in mid-process, but I just wanted to at least move this much out into the world and shift perspectives or assist in any way that I can towards this alignment and towards this depth, which is just so important right now. So I really appreciate you watching. If you do like videos like this, please hit like. Definitely share it. Share it all around with your friends. Also, I'm doing a lot of my communication now through email because that's not being as squashed down by the algorithm and stuff. So be sure to go to my description and click the link to my free meditation, and that will get you in my inner circle so that you can always be in communication no matter what happens on all the social media platforms. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with another video.